welcome to the video lecture on the course Op-Amp and Linear Integrated Circuit. In this session, we will be discussing a topic on phase locked loop, and the basics of phase locked loop we will be discussing in this particular session. So first we have to see what is this phase locked loop, the operation of it, and the various other parameters related to this phase lock. Now, what is this phase locked loop? A phase locked loop, normally we call it as PLL, it is abbreviated as PLL, is basically a closed loop system. It is a closed loop system designed to lock the output frequency and phase to the frequency and phase of an input signal. So which is nothing but, in this particular part we have an input signal, we have an output signal. So the phase and the frequency of these two signals should be same. So a PLL is used for this particular purpose. If there is a change in the output frequency compared to the input frequency, then this particular system, that is the PLL system, will enable to make the frequencies equal at this particular part. That is commonly abbreviated as PLL, phase locked loop. We will see the block diagram of this phase locked loop here. The basic PLL. So this is a basic block diagram of a PLL, and this block diagram is consisting of a phase detector, a filter which is normally used, a low pass filter, error amplifier, and a voltage controlled oscillator. We call it as VCO. Now, and seeing the first block of this particular part, the phase detector, it is having two inputs, which is nothing but the input part, that is the input voltage what we consider, which is having a frequency Fi, and the output voltage is also fed to the phase detector. It is normally a comparator, what we can say, a phase detector, and the output voltage V0, which is having a frequency F0, is obtained. So the two inputs to the phase detector are Fi and F0. So these two frequencies will be compared by using the frequency detector, and this phase detector gives one output voltage, which we call it as a DC voltage. The output voltage will be DC. So this phase detector compares the two frequencies, and a phase difference is given as a output, what we can say in this particular part. Now this DC voltage, if it is having the high frequency components, it is removed by using a low pass filter. So which is nothing but, it is only allowing the low frequency signals at this particular part. So all the frequency components are removed at this particular part, and we obtain error voltage, what we can say, VE, and this error voltage, which is very small, will be amplified using a error amplifier, and we obtain a voltage VA as the input to the voltage controlled oscillator, and this VA is applied to the voltage control oscillator, and we get a output voltage V0, which will be, in terms of voltage control oscillator, is nothing but it is a circuit which converts the voltage to frequency, and from that part we get a output frequency, what we can say. See that these are the system waveforms of the phase lock loop. The input voltage, which is having a frequency Fi, the time period of this is Ti, and the output voltage V0, which is having a frequency F0. So we can see there the phase difference between the input and the output, which is the phi. So the error voltage, the phase comparator output voltage VD, which is nothing but it is in the form of a square, in the form of a rectangular wave, what we can say. So PW plus and PW minus. So in this case, the pulse width PW of the phase detector output is directly proportional to the phase difference phi between the system input and output waves, and this waveform is smoothened by the filter to produce a DC level equal to its average amplitude, or we call it as a error voltage VE. As we can see, it is an average value of VD. So VE is nothing but average value of VE, and one point to be remembered, if the phase difference is exactly equal to 90 degree, that is the input and output is having a phase difference of 90 degree, then the VD output waveform will be a square wave. and the average value of a square wave will be a zero value, and this zero value will be given to as the input to the oscillator circuit, So moving on with this particular, the average level of Vd is proportional to the pulse amplitude and pulse width, which is directly proportional to phi, which is in turn proportional to phi. Therefore, thus Ve is proportional to phase difference between the input and output waveform. This indirectly terms Ve is proportional to the phase difference between the input frequency and the output frequency waveforms. Ve is applied via the amplifier to the VCO, which generates the output waveform, which generates the output frequency waveform, what we can say. Now, a voltage control oscillator is an oscillator circuit in which frequency of oscillations can be controlled by externally applied voltage. In this case, the externally applied voltage is nothing but VE, what we can say, or the amplified version of VE, which is VA. And this applied voltage, we call it as a control voltage for a voltage control oscillator. And for that reason, we call it as a voltage controlled oscillator. Now, when the control voltage is zero, for example, what I have mentioned earlier, if the phase difference between the input and output is 90 degree, phi is equal to 90 degree, we get a square waveform. If the square waveform is obtained, we get VE is equal to 0. That is, the average value of VD will be equal to 0. So that is nothing but the applied voltage to the oscillator is 0. If the control voltage is 0, VCO is in free running mode and its output frequency is called the center frequency F0. The non-zero control voltage results in a shift in the VCO frequency from its free running frequency F0 to a frequency F, given by the expression F will be equal to F0 plus kV into Vc, where kV is the voltage to frequency transfer coefficient of the VCO. So this will be the case if VE is having a particular value, if it is not 0. Now, if the frequency F0 drifts away from the equality with the Fi, which is nothing but if we say that either F0 is increasing or decreasing compared to the input frequency. In the first condition we will take, if F0 decreases, what will happen? We will take the system waveforms what we are considered. So if F0 decreases, the time period should increase, T0 increases. If T0 increases, the phase angle phi also increases. If phase angle phi increases, the pulse width, that is the positive pulse width, PW plus what we call, it also increases. If pulse width increases, VE, the average value of VD increases. When average value of VD increases, VCO frequency or F0 output frequency also increases. So here F0 initially decreased, but it has to attain a particular value of Fi. So it has to maintain that particular equality. So when it F0 decreases, immediately these particular parameters will make the output frequency to increase. So thus we can say that decrease in F0 produces a feedback effect that drives F0 back to equality with Fi. Seeing the another case, if F0 increases, the time period T0 decreases, what we can say. If T0 phi decreases, the PW plus, the pulse width also decreases, VE also decreases, therefore the output frequency, VCO frequency decreases. So thus the increase in F0 produces a feedback effect that drives F0 back to equality with Fi. So in this case now the frequency comes back to its original frequency, that is the input frequency, making it equality. Consider what happens if input frequency increases or decreases. So till now we have seen output frequency increasing or decreasing. Now output frequency is nothing happening to output frequency. It is kept constant. Suppose if we say it is at a particular value. Suppose if input frequency varies, what will happen? Increase in Fi without any immediate change in F0. That is, Fi increases if we consider. Then If we consider the time period of the input is less than the time period of the output, then Ti decreases. So if Ti decreases, the phase angle phi increases. Phase angle phi, that is between the input and output, increases. PW plus increases, VE increases, and F naught also increases. So if Fi increases, it makes the output frequency also to increase. Thus increase in F naught will make it equal to Fi. Decrease in Fi without any immediate change in F naught. Fi decreases, so Ti is greater than T naught. If it is Ti is greater than T naught, Ti also increases. So phi decreases. If Ti increases, phi decreases. PW plus decreases, the error voltage decreases. So VCO frequency F naught decreases. So in this case, decrease in Fi will make it equal to F naught. So with this particular part, if there is a change in input frequency or increase or decrease in input frequency, the output frequency also keeps on changing. So with this part, the phase locked loop tries to maintain the input frequency equal to output frequency, so that both the frequencies are locked at a particular situation. What we can, the loop feedback system locks the output frequency to exact equality with input frequency. The phase detector detects any change in the phase difference between the input and the output waveforms and changes the VCO output to correct the phase difference. So with this particular part, we can say that the phase the PLL system tries to make the input and output frequencies at a particular value. So they maintain the equality. If there is an increase or decrease in the frequencies, the entire system plays the important role in making these frequencies equal. So with this particular part, this PLL system keeps on working. So thank you for watching this video.